her how to
No.
what?
To lead a class.
She's not allowed. She's
Yes, and you know
We
what?
just need
I
to
feel-
vote. We can change it up there if we, the three of us.
I was sitting here.
Listen,
Look
please,
in your
I'm just
roster.
telling you she
Who do you know that lives in North
She
Haven?
lied to us for it.
Tell them to go. That's all.
How many of them in jail?
They should be.
Well, I met Dr.
Can you defend?
Kenneth.
I don't know how you can
He
defend.
called us up and he
someone's
met all of
getting
us,
over-
gave us each $1,000 contribution. Jonan Lunger,
You're the only
never
one that defends
before
it.
gave me 500. I've run
Are you related?
No, I had to run them.
I'm just telling you,
You know what?
it's
I'm gonna have good luck
disingenuous to
either way.
make what happened
They lose if you win,
a
though.
political.
That's what I said. Stop saying congratulations and
Folks,
start
thank you
saying
very much for
don't.
taking your seats. My commissioner will join me. It's 8:05 p.m.
It's a pleasure to meet you and Mazel. And happy New Year to you. Really, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Commissioners, my colleagues, me, Mr. Attorney. Okay. All right, folks, thank you very much for your patience. The time is 8:05 p.m. I am going to go ahead and open up our meeting for our city commission. Today is Wednesday, September 21st, 2022. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner John? Here. Commissioner Joseph? Commissioner Kramer? Here. Commissioner Smuggler? Commissioner Ballard? Here. Vice Mayor Florimont?
Here.
Mayor Anthony DeFilippo?
I am here.
You all set, sir?
Thank you very much. Today we have our invocation, which will be given by Pastor Ariel Vasquez from the Third Day Church. Pastor. Give us those words.
God is good. Let's get this meeting started. Let's shake us off. Oh yeah. Let's start this in unity and good spirit and united as one. And let us pray that and let God take control of everything that's going to be said and done, and this meeting will be done ASAP. Amen. Thank you, Lord Father, for this meeting. Thank you for our mayor, our commissioners, our staff, our city managers, and all those that are involved in the city, Lord God. Thank you for the city is marching forward. Thank you for all the new projects, for all the new things that are happening. So we just pray over the blessings of your name over this city, and that everything we do will be prosper. In your heavenly name we pray. And the people of God says, Amen.
All right. Those are good words, Pete, especially when we're coming close to the holidays for all those that serve. Yes. All right, if we can all rise for our Pledge of Allegiance. All right, folks, before we go to number 4, which is our request for withdrawals, deferments, and additions to the agenda, I don't want to burn any more time, but I'm just going to ask for 10 seconds and bow our heads in prayers for peace and unity in this nation and in this world, and the passing of Queen Elizabeth that recently occurred, matriarch for so many decades, and gave so much to our country. Thank you. May everybody stay in good health. Madam Clerk, item number 4. Do we have any requests or withdrawals and deferments to the agenda?
Yes, we do, Mr. Mayor. An item will be added. It's called the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant. That will be added under consent. It will now be item 9.16. And that's also subjected to the consent Another item entitled automatic license plate readers will be added under discussion as 15.6. We're just gonna move two more items around here. Item 12.1
Item 15.6 is going to be discussed.
is gonna be entitled automated license plate readers.
Okay, I got that here on mine.
Okay. Item 11.3 will be removed from legislation, which is entitled, letter of intent to purchase property located at 1911 Northeast 172nd Street. That item is going to be heard under consent. Items 12.1 and 12.2, those are two business tax receipts. That's gonna be also heard under consent. That's, item 12.1 is entitled Platinum South Inc., doing business as Dean's Gold. And item 12.2 is G5, and both items will be heard under consent. Those are the only, additions, deferments, or addition, that we have at this time.
Okay, so then I could pull something out of the consent agenda, which would be what was just put into the consent agenda. You'll have to tell me what resolution it was, but it was the purchase for a building,
Item 11.3.
11.3, so I'd like that off the consent agenda. And there was something else here, I'm trying to find.
The other two items?
Okay, Ms. Mayor, just procedurally, we have basically, requests to include certain items in the consent, then we need to make that motion first. Then if there's anything that want to be pulled, then we can do that, second, so we won't mix everything up.
Just, all right, let's follow formality so we can respect everybody's process. All right, so that's,
Can I have a point?
Commissioner Joseph,
Need one more form?
okay, so Madam Clerk, for the record, we're gonna go for the approval of the consent agenda, and then, as the attorney said, if there's some item that wanna be pulled, Commissioner Kramer can do so at the time.
Okay, can I have a motion and a second to accept?
A motion to accept the consent agenda,
Okay, I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
there a second as presented? Okay, there is no second.
Second.
That doesn't pass, that gavel is dropped.
Mr. Mayor?
We're going to move,
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
Commissioner Jean just sat down, she stepped away for a quick moment, and she seconded.
okay,
She wasn't the only one.
okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed?
Opposed? Okay, so, what is it, 4-2, 5-2?
4-2.
4-2, okay, so passes on a 4-2. All right, you wanna make your,
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to put back item 15.6 into the regular agenda.
11.6.
11.6, I'm sorry, I'm looking for it. 11.6, I think it's important that we have a discussion.
No, not 11.3.
11.3.
Okay. Well, I'm just
11.3.
listening to whoever's telling me what to do.
11.3, resolution
Right,
2022.
yes, this is in regards to purchasing a piece of property for $1.670 million. I think that's something we need to discuss. So I'd like to, is there a second?
I'll second that. Definitely needs to be discussed, it's a big amount of money. Okay, so what else, is there anything else you want to change?
No, I thought there was something else, but now I can't find it.
Okay, so, item 11.3, will be pulled from the consent agenda.
Just need a vote, Mayor, you second it.
First and second, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed?
Well, Mayor, listen.
Well, can we do it, boys?
We just did it. It's the
No,
time.
Mayor, the vote wasn't, in fact, I don't think there was a majority.
We're all here.
We just need to make sure we have the vote.
I heard 4 and nobody else said nothing. so-
Mayor, even the clerk, she.
Okay, so what do you wanna do? Do it again? And listen, I don't wanna get into any more fights up here. You guys
There's no
wanna
fight, just wanna make sure the record is
Okay.
clear.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, so, are we roll call?
Raise your hand, please, if you're for.
You want to do a roll call?
Yeah, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, this is to, basically, remove item 11.3 from the consent agenda to the regular agenda, just to clarify for the
The
record.
purchase of the land, yes.
Right.
Okay,
Purchase of
no
the
problem.
building.
All right, that's what we're doing. Okay, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Jean? No. Commissioner Joseph?
No.
Commissioner Kramer?
Yes.
Commissioner Blunt?
No.
Commissioner Smucker?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Florimon?
No.
Mayor DiFilippo?
No. I want it to be, we need to have a discussion on this item. You can't just take a $1.6 million item and put it on a consent agenda and not talk about it.
You just voted no, Mr. Mayor.
Huh?
You just voted in favor of.
You just voted no. You just voted no.
I didn't understand what you were saying. I said yes. I want to be able to discuss this item.
Gonna purchase 1.6 million and not discuss it?
Hello? I mean, all of you out there should be standing up right now roaring. $26 million of your taxpayers' money, and they don't want to discuss what they want to do with it.
That's not true. That's not true, Mr.
Unreal.
It is very true.
It's true.
Discuss the consent agenda.
Now,
You can actually
want
have
to discuss it or not?
Mayor, again, it's within the commission discretion.
As a
The
point of
agenda was
order,
voted.
point of order.
Madam Clerk, we called the roll on this?
Point of order.
We just called the roll.
We called the roll?
Just now.
Hold on 1 second, I'm asking
Before I go, I have a question.
A procedural question, Madam Clerk, where are we at this point? We called the roll, they chose not to discuss the item?
Yes.
Okay, is there anybody that wants to bring that back? And discuss it? No? Okay.
Discuss the agenda as a whole, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can discuss it. Once we have a motion and a second for consent, we can discuss
We
that.
can discuss,
Okay, so we have a.
discuss anything in your report,
Exactly.
Alright, that's what we'll do then.
okay?
I mean, it's unbelievable how unfiscally responsible this commission is to not have a discussion item.
You should probably
You guys
switch your vote,
fail.
Mr. Mayor.
You guys fail this city every time you open your big mouth.
Mr. Mayor, once again, the decorum.
Listen, you don't have to warn me about anything.
You just apologized to these people and you're doing the same thing again.
No, exactly, because you know why? It's what's right, and people need to know what's right.
We're gonna
And I
discuss
know
it.
that at least 99% of the people out there.
We're gonna
agree with what
discuss
I'm
it, Mr.
saying.
Mayor. It's gonna be discussed.
Okay?
It's
Yeah.
gonna be discussed.
Sure.
Can we
Right.
please do the presentations, there's people that have been waiting here an hour and a half for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
Yes, dale. We need to más pronto on this.
Yeah, really. Madam Clerk, so we're done. So as amended, Mr. Attorney?
The vote is really item now 5.1.
Okay, so we're down to 5.1, key to the city. Let's move to Commissioner Smucker for a presentation.
And you know what, it's over 2 hours. Okay. Even though this meeting is running 2 hours late, it is Hunger Action Month. And there are 6 organizations that feed not only those in need, but those in need in our city of North Miami Beach. And I have gotten to know some of you from many years ago and some of you from recent. But most importantly, just thank you, all of you, for doing what you do and for allowing me to be part of your teams. The first key to the city is going to Joshua's Heart Foundation. So I just saw Joshua's mother a little while ago, and I sitting right next to me, and this little tiny boy is talking about how he's gonna feed the homeless and feed everybody and just take care of it, but save the world is what he was gonna do. And I was so impressed by him, and I remember asking him to come to a meeting and speak, and I remember John Julian, may he rest in peace, coming up to at the commission meeting saying, "Wow, Fortuna, wow." And I want you all to give, in memory of John Julian, I want you all to give that wow to Joshua's Heart Foundation. They feed so many hundreds and thousands of people, and they feed North Miami Beach. They're in North Miami Beach. September with appreciation for your efforts in feeding our families. Thank you, Joshua. I love you. I think I'm your mother. And I appreciate all that you do and all that, and am I right? Do we all love him?
Yes.
We're here, sitting here because it's Hunger Action Month, and this is something for all our residents of North Miami Beach. So please come out and please stand up for the pictures and yes, because I do share my things.
Hi everyone, how are you guys doing today? Good. I wanted to thank Ms. Fortuna, of course, for thanking and honoring the foundation with this amazing honor, as well as my mom, my family, as well as the rest of the team. Some of our team members had to leave early, but there's a large amount of work that needs to be done across, first of all, globally, let alone the U.S., and especially in our backyard in the state of Florida, in Miami-Dade, and in North Miami Beach. There's a lot of people who need support and assistance, and it's important that we all band together to do more and to help one another out in making change and creating a better world. Again, thank you guys for being here.
And his other mom can come up and be with us, please. And he came down. He's away at school, and he came down just to be here for today. Next is Farm Share. And we've been holding almost monthly food distributions here in North Miami Beach. And we can't do it without Farm Share supplying the food. And we want to thank Farm Share for being part of helping feed North Miami Beach and South Florida.
Let's go, Farm Share.
In honor of Hunger Action Month in September, with appreciation for your efforts in feeding our families, September 2022. And this is a key to the city, just like Joshua's Heart got, and as all the others that are getting tonight. These are keys to the city.
Thank you all very much. This is a huge proud moment for Farm Share. We have been serving the community here in North Miami Beach for years, and it's a proud moment for us to receive this I have been here since 7 o'clock this morning because we had a food distribution today here behind Victory Pool, and where we served this morning 600 families in a matter of 2 hours. And right now, there are huge issues going on in our communities, and no matter the differences that we may have, no matter how different we all have to realize that we are more alike than we are different. And at the end of the day, we all have to eat, and we all have to feed each other. And so it is a proud moment for us to be able to gather the food that we gathered this year from all the farms here in Florida and from all the places to be able to redistribute them in neighborhoods and in communities in North Miami Beach. Thank you all very much. Thank you to all the folks and our partners and community partners that are going to be receiving keys tonight. These folks work with us on a daily basis to make sure that citizens here in North Miami Beach are fed and are taken care of. And so to Kosher Food Bank, to Joshua's Heart, and to everybody else who's going to be receiving a key tonight, thank you very much for all your help.
JCS Kosher Food Bank.
All right, in the whole room.
So I've had the pleasure of knowing Bonnie of JCS Kosher Food Bank when our daughters started pre-K in Miss Tanny's class when they were 4 years old, and now they're 36. So I had the pleasure of being a PTA mom with her, a room mother with her, all the great stuff that you get to experience when your children are little and they grow up. But Bonnie, when did you start working at the Kosher Food Bank?
It's been 12 years.
It's been 12 years that Bonnie has been in the Kosher Food Bank, and what I love about all these organizations that I'm honoring tonight, that we're honoring tonight, is that they all work together. They're kind of like competitors in a sense because there's so many of them, but they're not. They're together. They help each other out. They give each other food. They give each other help. And Bonnie is certainly one of those people that is always helping out. I love being with Bonnie. Bonnie Kosher Food Bank is in North Miami Beach as well, near Joshua's Heart. They help each other out, and thank you for feeding our community, our residents, and those in need. And now September, with appreciation for your efforts in feeding our families, September 2022, a key presented to JCS Kosher Food Bank.
Thank you very much. We are humbled and honored. We love what we do every day. You know, nothing makes you feel better than helping other people. And I'm so grateful to have my job and be able to do that every day. And our whole team is here because we all wanted to be here today. CEO from Community Services and our chairman of the board and our great staff right here, Ms. Sue. So I want to thank them. I want to thank FarmShare. FarmShare, you are the most unbelievable partner, and we love you. Thank you so much. Claudia from Joshua's Heart, Belkis,
And once again, I love being with all these different organizations, and I love that they have accepted me to be part of their organizations. And thank you so much for that. Our next one is Tomcha Chavez. Not only does Tomcha Chavez feed so many people in North Miami Beach, but he lives in North Miami Beach. So we have to give a double round of applause. This is Joby Katz, and he is with Tomcha Chavez. And every Thursday, it'll be starting up again, but every Thursday, they feed so many children in North Miami Beach. Yes, it's a kosher food, but you don't have to be kosher, you don't have to be Jewish. You just have to have children. And this guy here makes it happen. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing us. So for Tomcha Chavez, in honor of Hunger Action Month in September, with appreciation for your efforts in feeding our families, September 2022, your key to the city.
I did have a whole long speech prepared, but no time. So just thank you, Mayor, thank you, Commissioners, and it's an honor. Thank you very much.
Now we have, also in North Miami Beach, Build a Better Tomorrow. Build a Better Tomorrow, I know that they do it, they feed people more than the once a month, but once a month I can most likely be seen at WSRF, where they feed 200 people, Rose? 200 people or more with wonderful food. Everybody has wonderful food. I'm actually so amazed sometimes to see what each and every one of you gives out. And this is at the WSRF every third Thursday of the month. It's a wonderful organization that feeds over 200 people, and I know it's on other days as well. Thank you, Rose, so much for allowing me to be part of Build a Better Tomorrow and for having Build a Better. In honor of Hunger Action Month in September, with appreciation for your efforts in feeding our families, September 2022, a key to the city for Build a Better Tomorrow.
Although we have a radio station, but I hate to have mic where I have an audience. I usually inside the booth where I'm talking and people can hear my voice, not seeing my face. I always say big thank you. Big thank you to Commissioner Fortuna, and big thank you to all the commissioners, because they all have to agree on these things for it to happen. I want to make a note that we started with turkey. We used to give turkey, and then the mayor used to pass by every year to help us to do the turkey. And then in the long run, we go every third Thursday of the month, and then we have Commissioner Fortuna who pass by to help us. We're here to serve. We've been on the radio for more than 25 years plus, and then we've been doing that for more than 12 years. We're going to continue to do it. Like Commissioner Fortuna always said, Just like we have kosher, we have all type of food. Our food is a little bit different, closer to the Haitian culture. So we do that. We look for vendors that can give us things that are very close to our culture. When people came in, that it's not a problem for them to have that part for extra. But we serve everybody. And lately we've been getting a lot of people from Ukraine. And I have no idea where they come from, but they are here, they are in Miami Beach, and then they are passing by of our food distribution. So we tell them welcome every day, and then we continue with the service. Thank you very much, guys.
It's going to be the loudest one. He's sitting right there. Love to Help Foundation. So I actually met Belkis at, I think it was at the Kosher Food Bank distribution, right? Belkis, is that where I met you at one of the Kosher Food Bank distribution? So she does a food distribution every Sunday, and she feeds especially homeless, many needy homeless people. And I am so proud to go and to be part of it.
Everybody, my name is Dan Pimentel, youngest son of Belkis Pimentel, founder of Love Out Foundation. I just want to let you guys know it's a blessing to be here. You know, I appreciate everybody part of the team that holds down the city, as well as all the other foundation organizations as well. It means a lot to all of us and everybody. You know, there's a lot of people in need, and I just want to say, growing up, we've been doing this foundation now for maybe 8 years around, and you know, I just turned 20 this summer, so I'm a young guy. But you know, being maybe like 14 years old, having to wake up every Sunday and go pick up a bunch of food and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll be like, nah, I don't want to go. You know, I'm tired. It was Saturday night, I was chilling. But you know, now that I'm older, a lot more mature, a lot more responsible, there's a big understanding that, you know, what I'm part of. And you know, I appreciate it, and I take full responsibility for everything I do. And now I understand, you know, what I'm doing is a good thing, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing for everybody else as well. And I appreciate everybody. And I really appreciate my mother and my family, because they teach me. My pops, my brother, everybody. Without these guys, I wouldn't be, you guys wouldn't see who you see right now. So it's a very big blessing. Again, I appreciate the city, the whole team. You guys are the best. You know, I've been living here the majority of my life, and this is my home. So thank you guys, everybody.
And they also live in North Miami Beach. So.
I got 2 words. I'm back. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. What a beautiful presentation. Thank you to all those in attendance. Thank you for supporting and participating. All of these great vendors and all of these great organizations that have stepped forth, giving a helping hand. Thank you, Commissioner Swell. Okay, next on our list is public comment. So if you want to speak public comment, this is the time to come and put your name on the list with the city clerk. Over here to my left on the corner. Anybody wishing to speak in regular public comment, you have 3 minutes. Just come over here to the clerk and give her your name if you haven't already.
The first time speaker is Sir Diego Brazil, and then Karen Howard.
You want to go ahead, Madam Clerk, and read the public comment disclosure so we follow.
Coming up. Please be advised there is a 3-minute time limit for each speaker. Speaker, when you get to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Also, the mayor and commissioners of the city of North Miami Beach recognize all points of civility. The city of North Miami Beach requests that all in attendance practice civility towards each other.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Sir Diego Brazil, resident of this neighborhood as of 2016. I moved down here from Cleveland, Ohio, back in 2010. Lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania prior to that. I'm not an immigrant, but I feel like when I moved here for the same purpose, and that's a better life. Mayor DeFilippo, when you were commissioner, we had a chance to meet when Esmond Scott was the
manager.
Hey, leave out quietly, please.
I'm sorry about that, Speaker. Guys, please, if you can kindly keep it quiet, we're having a public comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Respect. Go ahead.
Yeah, so and when Esmond Scott was the city manager at that point, phone calls and emails seemed to no longer be enough, and that's why I'm here in person. Many years that I've been living in this community since 2016, I've seen a lot of things that are very disappointing. Many of us cannot afford to buy homes. We have to rent. We're at the mercy of these property owners that own these rental properties that don't even live in this country or don't even live in this state or even in the community. But they want the money. They invite people who are not good residents to move in, and they bring bad behavior. And along with that, they invite their bad relatives and friends, and we get stuck with it. It's not fair to have people working for the city that do not pay attention to what's going on. I'm tired of talking. I'm grown. I just turned 50 years old. I come home. I have to sit around trash and filth. I have to praise Aldridge there, the code enforcement, not only that, his team, Clavier, those type of people. I used to have a lot of connection down in City Hall, but they get angry when I email, when I call. But those are my two advocates, because it's not fair that we, these rentees, we're already struggling for a place to stay. We can't afford to buy homes. But at the same time, these property owners want to retaliate against us for speaking up. But at the same time, they got people living in these buildings. For example, the building next door, 16700, I'm constantly complaining. The tenants won't even put the garbage in the dumpster. I have people come to visit me to think I live in the ghetto. When I first moved here, the first place I lived in was North Miami. When I drove up the street in Senior City Hall, I was so amused and, oh my God, I can't wait to get to North Miami Beach. It's so disturbing to see so much conflict up there with all of you. You fought hard to get your positions and can't get along. And that's sad. It's our tax dollars that are paying your salaries. You're here for us. Not only that, if you don't live in the city, why are you working here if you don't care? And for the police department, I'm thankful for the officers that put their lives on the line for us. But I also see some officers that chit-chat. You call down there, I get attitude for calling. They already know who I am. And then it takes forever for police officers to respond sometimes, the ones who do not want to do their job. You got people parking in these handicapped parking spots that don't even have the proper decal. You have officers sometimes that come out, don't even want to cite or don't even want to be bothered. I love this city, and I work damn hard to get here. You all making all that money up there, we count on you to do the job, especially for people who look like me.
15 seconds.
Thank you. I was at the Trina Rock the Vote. Many of you were proud of your position. You're in these positions, do your job. You get the money, get the job done, clean up the neighborhood. We got trash and litter all over the place. I spoke to the director, Alder Duran. He complained that he's not getting enough. Thank you. He's not getting enough help. You guys got to clean the city up. We don't want to live around trash and filth.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hi, Karen Harold. There's a couple of things I just wanted to mention, and Vice Mayor Forland. I was upset when I heard you use my words against me, so to speak. When I was mentioning about the tree trimming and the work that's usually done before hurricane season that's not getting done, it was in order to pay attention to the budget, stop the wasteful spending, stop adding additional aids and assistance and high salary increases, and pay attention to the city's needs. And I heard you repeat it a couple of times when you're saying how we need that extra or 0.1% instead of 6%, because then we won't have services to be able to cut trees. So I just need to mention that. The other thing is, I'm really embarrassed that all the commissioners weren't out here when we just gave recognition to people. It affects them, their family, their lives, and they're helping other people in our community. These are your constituents. These are the people who voted for you. And a couple of the commissioners weren't here for the whole presentation. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Actions are important more than words. And the other thing I wanted to mention when I see all of these resolutions here, I'm referring to 9/11 about aid to helping people, and the words at the end go with providing the city manager and city attorney with the authority to do all things necessary to effectuate the resolution and providing for an effective date. Where's the overseeing on this? In other words, I don't know if giving help to people involves what's happened before when the public gift cards were given away. It was chaotic, people lining up overnight, and I wrote to every commissioner and the police chief at the time, how can you allow people to stay there overnight in their cars? It's so dangerous. Where are they going to the bathroom? What if there's a medical emergency? Somebody could be dead in their car in the morning, the city would be sued. And nobody who was in any authority did anything to stop this. Why don't you give some kind of form people can fill out and give each commissioner a certain amount so that they can look at their constituents, see who's the most in need, make it an organized fashion where everybody gets help equally. I know people that went to that Publix gift card giveaway like 8 o'clock in the morning, and they said they were all given away already. And I heard people the late afternoon, the night before, were lined up. That's not fair. So when it comes to the part of the city manager and city attorney having the authority to do all things necessary, please be fair with how you distribute this money. Don't let one commissioner or two commissioners hijack it.
15 seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trisha Harris, and then Irene Pellinger. Pellinger.
You're still here? Oh.
My name is Irene Pillinger. I'm a city resident. I just wanted to comment on some of the discussion that you had earlier. So if you're finding bulk piles that are too big, you might consider that part of this is because people just save their cartons that usually go in the recyclables, and then when it's bulk pickup day, they throw everything in the bulk pickup pile because they don't have anything else to do with it. So it goes back to the whole recycle thing. And then when you're talking about maybe getting them 2 bins, they're charged monthly for having an extra bin to pick up. And I have no clue how to judge what 20 cubic yards of waste is. I have no clue. If contractors are putting things on swales, they're not supposed to do that at all. And the trimmers, if your gardener is putting stuff on the swale, they're not supposed to do that either. So that should be part of the education. And it's also recently come to my attention that there's the date and time stamp is no longer on the city meeting videos, and the closed captioning doesn't seem to work, which is very hard for people who are hard of hearing or deaf. They have no more closed captioning of our meetings here. So, and also, how many sister cities do we need? It's a great program, cultural exchange, but it seems to me that now we have, I think, 4 sister cities in one country. So where's the variety of cultural exchange? I see another one on the agenda tonight. Maybe we're planning vacations in St. Lucia. So I don't understand what this program is doing for the residents when commissioners are making trips to these places and charging the residents for these trips. I'm also curious to learn about the business plan for some of the items on the agenda. For instance, the senior center. What type of programming are we looking at? How does the programming benefit seniors? The same with an education fund. How are those funds going to be put to use? So if you guys have that information, maybe the residents could be educated in how to find out that information, and how to be educated in how our city government is supposed to work, so that we can understand what you're doing better. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Phyllis Smith and then Janice Coakley.
By the way, folks, we have former Commissioner Phyllis Smith in the house, so about a round of applause for Commissioner to come here to represent the city.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, I never bring notes, but I put down some notes tonight because, you know, it's embarrassing.
Please state your name for the record.
Thank you. Phyllis Smith, and I still live in North Miami Beach. So, let me just say something to you. And, you know, I'm old enough that I could teach you. And I think the majority of you up there need to learn. As Howard Leonard taught me once, when he was here for 31 years as our attorney, Commissioner, I hear what you want to do, and we're going to do it for you. But let's not see your name as a headline in the paper. Let's do it the right way. We honored 6 places that take care of our people. They take care of us. And that's money that you don't have to take out of your budget. That's money that you don't have to look for or watch them not be able to feed their families. And yet, the entire commission couldn't come up and honor these people? That's the personalities we have up here? That you're going to be resentful to this one and mean to that one? What the heck happened? Could you please grow up? Could you please represent North Miami Beach the way a city as good as ours is should be represented? I have notes here about your consent agenda. If you add it up with that building, it's over $5 million with no discussion. What is going on? What are you doing to our city? You're saying in the consent agenda that money will be put away for education. How much? What's the limit? Could you give us some boundaries? Could you give the public an education to what it is? Let me tell you, before my time is up, this is a very big time for the Jewish religion. It's a new year, and I happen to be Jewish, and I understand at this time of the year we forgive those and we start the year fresh.
15 seconds.
And in my 15 seconds, and I'm going to say this.
Please finish your statement.
Please, represent, I gave 13 and a half years to this city. Represent us with dignity. If you can't say it nice, please don't say it at all. I'd rather hear silence than what is going on between all of you that represents us as one body. You don't represent us as me first and not you. You represent all of us. Let me tell you, take it off the consent agenda, still get your 4-3 votes, but let the public hear how you're spending their money. And I will tell you, to each and every person, Jewish, Buddhist, Catholic, no religion at all, let's start this new year with a different commission, a different representation from our city to the people that we take care of. Thank you very much.
Janice Coakley and then Keith Myers.
Good evening, Janice Coakley. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, staff, and residents. I have been a city employee with North Miami Beach since March 1st, 77, started on Cedar, and became a regular employee in 79. I always came up to the desk and speak about the budget. Every year. I missed the first reading. I'm here to speak on the general employees, starting with salaries, waiting for study to compare these new created job titles position. Would like to know, when will civil service be back? Has been on the agenda several times for discussion. It's now 4 years. Is it a reason not coming back? I know I made it fair with testing, grading, and qualification. Again, 4 years. I also was informed, I don't know how true it is, that we don't do drug tests anymore for new hires. Why did the city stop? Outsourcing is not the way to go to private companies. The janitorial cleaning service that we pay to just empty the garbage cans in our facilities, we need to hire more custodians and let them take better care of the city facilities. We supply these private companies with the papers, the bags, the cleaning things. We should have never outsourced our solid waste, landscaping, these consulting fees. Please take a tour of the work areas where we work at. I know it's been in the budget for customer service. office, the PSA, just take a look. I am the only one here, and I am here speaking because of my years of experience. I'm not here for any hidden agenda. I'm here that everyone be treated at least fair and work in an office condition and not feel threatened to come to work. Thank you.
Good morning, Keith Myers, 1440 Northeast 177th Street. To anybody that's been to one of the town hall meetings, or any meeting in the past year or so, you'll notice that, and even the public gift cards giveaway, since that's been brought up a lot, you'll know that there's always a commissioner's face on it. Why? The money from the public gift cards did not come from a commissioner. They came from the city's general fund or ARPA. The Dunkin' Donuts giveaways, they didn't come from a single commissioner, they came from the city. Why are we attributing these events to one commissioner? Anybody who's been to the events, any of the town halls, you have to listen to a 6.5-minute video about one commissioner's accomplishments. 7 people up there, you guys all played part of it. But one commissioner gets all the credit. That's just wrong. Thank you.
Next speaker.
No one else has signed up, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, we got one right here. Please step to the microphone, just give us your name for the record.
Leslie Kaplan. Listening to Keith, and his facts are not true. He's not telling the truth, and he doesn't tell the truth.
Excuse me, ma'am, please stick to what you're going to be saying and don't point out anybody directly, so continue.
Well, because...
Continue, do not point anybody out directly, say what you have to say, please.
Because Mayor, people come up here and they destroy everybody else and they point things out. Commissioner Smith just did that.
Please continue.
Right, okay. So I was at a Highland Village meeting, and I'm pointing this out because Commissioner Kramer put up on her Facebook page, "Thank you, Keith, for recognizing a resident's plea and understanding what needs to happen to really take care of our city once again." Like, the city is in disarray now. So I asked Keith on the page, "What year was that, Keith?" "Oh, that's irrelevant." "Oh, it is, Keith?" "I think it's relevant. Because when this tragedy happened in 2016 where a child was hit, Commissioner Florimont, Commissioner Joseph, Commissioner Villard, Commissioner Smuckler, Commissioner Jean, the city attorney, the manager, none of them were around. What did they do? Mayor, you were there on the commission in 2016. He finally changed his post and he put in the date. I think it was because of Tricia Harris, who fights for her village. So I think it's unfortunate that this family's tragedy was used for political purposes, and its author and posted on Commissioner Kramer's page was just a political stunt. I don't know if it's a stunt or a political...
Madam, can you continue?
Ridiculous.
We're not here to...
A political agenda. because then he.
You turned it into a political agenda. Stop bringing these people's personal lives up here in public.
Excuse me, Commissioner,
Speaker, finish what you have to say and you're done. We're not here to berate anybody when you're sitting here. Finish your
the
comment.
Commissioner is yelling at me now.
No, she's not.
I'm correcting
She's
you.
defending you and correcting herself.
If she wants to correct me, I'd be happy to speak with her, right?
Why don't you exchange phone numbers? Because
No,
it would be a good thing.
No back and forth.
Listen, Mayor, I think the truth.
How many more minutes do we have?
Can I have an extra few minutes?
No, your time is, you're on the clock. Continue.
No, the truth hurts.
To who?
The truth hurts, and I'm here to tell the truth.
Thank you very much.
Because the rest of the post, if you would read it, goes on to say, this is how the city can be helped. Ask Keith or read the post, and you will see.
Please do.
It's clearly stating, vote for the three, and
Good.
things will change, Mayor.
Good, should.
Excuse me, Mayor, things will change. That is the post. So to disseminate that publicly is a problem, I think. And it's not honest. And it also hurts that poor family. And I was there that night when that poor mother.
Oh, stop it. Oh my God.
You were not there, Commissioner.
I know what happened.
Wow.
What's
All right,
going
that's
on?
enough. That's been,
Can we let the resident finish? I mean, just like everybody else?
People's tragedy. This is horrible.
Absolutely, it was a tragedy.
how many more minutes do we have?
No interruption.
You use it for politics.
Stop it. Stop it.
Do that.
Commissioner,
Stop.
it for
Speaker, your mic will be turned off if you don't listen to me.
I'm sorry.
What time do we have left?
Please don't
Just
bully
30 seconds with the
Mayor.
back and forth.
I
You
can't.
can bully the commissioners, but don't bully a resident.
Time out. How many minutes does she have left so she can finish her statement?
She has 30
Mayor.
seconds, but she keeps getting interrupted.
Yes,
Stop
Mayor,
interrupting
Mayor,
till she finish.
I just want to say one thing to you, Mayor.
Go ahead, you have 30 seconds.
You can bully the commissioners, but please don't bully a resident of your
Okay.
city.
Thank you.
I would appreciate that.
Then please come up with respect and decorum.
I am.
Okay, thank you.
I am respectful. I'm just telling the story and the truth. And even the manager that night was getting blamed. Blamed. How many years later? You were on the commission in 2016. How many years later, and they were yelling at the manager? How disgraceful and shameful is that? And then to post that political garbage and manipulate and putting things together, it's not ethical. It was purposeful, misleading to promote a political agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Next speaker.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mubarak Azan. That is the longest 3 minutes I've ever heard.
Tell me about it, right? Did the clock stop or what?
Yeah, I have my video going on back there, and I'll check how long that 3 minutes lasted. I'm talking about time. The time did stop is no longer on there. That is why they're depending on this 6 minutes, leave it for 3 minutes, and nobody can check it, but I'll check it. I think that our city is turning into a police state. Not the city, sorry. City Hall is turning into a police state. I see all of these signs all over here. This is just for me. Where I can't leave my order because the city manager has the police department. And none of them wearing body cameras. None of them. We invested over $1 million for body cameras. They come to work without the body cameras. That is why you go on YouTube and you can see the police officers, they're lying. But the body cameras would make them speak the truth. I need body cameras. I don't care if it's the chief, or the biggest guy, or what? We need body cameras. Let me move on. I hope this police, let me see. I came from a third world country. I lived there most of my life. And the government, they seize our property when we are not in agreement with them. And here is the same thing. If you disagree with the government or certain staff members, they want to seize your property. I thought I came from a third world country and landed in the first world. But I think you people remind me of back home, and not in a good way. The recyclables, they're not recyclable. I see coconut branches, I see plastic bags full in the recyclables. They're not recyclable. The guy picks them up and carries them straight down to the dump, where he dumps the regular garbage. And also the bulk trash. I heard about this 20 cubic yards. Not everybody puts out bulk trash. So if my neighbor doesn't put out bulk trash, but I put out 25 cubic yards of bulk trash, why can't he pick it up? This guy is minting money in us. And next year, between now and next year, he has to raise it up by more than $500,000 because I have the spreadsheet. I called for the spreadsheet and I have it. And we need to bring back sanitation in-house. That is the only way we can get a handle on this, instead of him, the owner of that company, waking up every morning, getting a dream, and oh, let's raise the price because...
15 seconds.
Okay. And I heard that police officers, they're accompanying some commissioners abroad, going abroad. Why do we need extra police officers when we can bring back home those police officers and let them patrol our streets and keep down crime and keep down stealing? We do not need extra police officers when you have these police officers accompanying commissioner all around the city, outside the state, and out of the country. And some of your time will be ending too soon. Thank you very much.
That was rude.
Thank you. Next speaker. Do we have any other speakers, Madam Clerk?
No, we do not have anyone else.
Okay, is anybody wishing to speak at this time that hasn't signed up, please step up. Okay, seeing none, public comment is closed at this time. We will move to announcements to public affairs.
Good evening, buenas noches, bonsoir, salam, shalom, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, esteemed commissioners, Mr. Manager, Madam Clerk, Mr. Attorney, directors, staff, beloved residents, and guests of the city of North Miami Beach. On behalf of the Public Affairs Department of this great city, we'd like to share with you a few of the wonderful events taking place in the great city of North Miami Beach in the upcoming weeks. Let's start with a focus on our youth. Teen Chat. This 5-week program started Saturday, September 10th and goes through to October 8th. To all our 13 to 18-year-olds, join this dynamic and much-needed conversation on mental health, relationships with law enforcement, community engagement, and to brainstorm new ideas on how to improve our NMB community. Teen Chat is sponsored by Education Liaison, Commissioner Paulie Villard, and Youth Advisory Board, Commissioner Liaison Daniela Jean. Domestic Violence Awareness Month was launched nationwide in October 1987 as a way to connect and unite individuals and organizations working on domestic violence issues while raising awareness for those issues. Well, join us for the 13th Annual Family Violence Awareness Walk on Saturday, October 1st, 2022 from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Gwen Margolis Amphitheater right here in the city of North Miami Beach. Free admission, and there's a regular donation of $25 and an all-star donation of $65, and all proceeds will be donated to Safe Space Foundation for direct relief for victims and their families. Let's shift our focus to our seniors now. The City of North Miami Beach, the North Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, and Commissioner Paulie Villard will host a Fall into Health Senior Health and Fitness Fair. All North Miami Beach seniors, you are invited to this Senior Health and Fitness Fair aimed at providing participants with important health resources and fitness tips to improve daily wellness habits. The fair will be held on Thursday, September 22nd from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the McDonald's Center, 17051 Northeast 19th Avenue. This event is free and open to the community. To RSVP online, just visit nmbhealthfair.eventbrite.com. And last but certainly not least, in senior news, the mayor and commissioners of this great city are inviting you to a groundbreaking event. Literally, it's the groundbreaking for the highly anticipated North Miami Beach Senior Center. It's time to put the shovels in the dirt and take senior living in the city of North Miami Beach to the next level. Come and participate in this historic event on October 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., followed by a very special senior luncheon afterwards, sponsored by the liaison to the Commission on Aging, Commissioner Paulie Villard. Again, that's the Senior Center groundbreaking on October 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The City of North Miami Beach and Commissioner Fortuna Smuggler want to wish everyone a Chag Sameach, or a happy holiday, on this Sukkot 2022, with a palm fronds distribution in recognition of the Jewish holiday of Sukkot. There will be several opportunities to pick up palm fronds Thursday, October 6, 2022, and Friday on October 7, 2022. So please log on to the City of NMB website at citynmb.com for more information and where you can pick up your palm fronds in celebration of Sukkot 2022. At the direction of the City Manager's Office, the Code Compliance Department has been providing residents with an informational door hanger detailing trash, recycling schedule, bulk, and illegal dumping general information. Remember, recycling pickup is now every other week on Wednesdays. NMB residents may refer to the online recycling pickup calendar found at citynmb.com/solid waste. Did you know that bulk pickup for your designated area is still the same? That's right. Also, remember that bulk pickup is restricted to a maximum of 20 cubic yards. Here's a quick representation of how 20 cubic yards looks like in feet. Note that bulk items cannot be placed out more than 48 hours in advance. Likewise, trash and recycling bins cannot be placed out more than 24 hours in advance and should be removed from the curbside or alleyway that same evening. In a constant effort to keep NMB clean, the Code Compliance Department will begin to issue illegal dumping, bulk trash, and recycling violations. Now, for anyone having difficulty navigating the immigration system, which has become an increasingly debated political topic, particularly in the state of Florida, the TPS and Citizenship Drive, sponsored by Commissioner Paulie Villard and Commissioner Michael Joseph, is designed to assist many of our immigrant residents and their families struggling to navigate through the immigration system. TPS means Temporary Protective Status, and this TPS session, along with the Citizenship Drive, will focus on eligible participants from Haiti and South American countries, in partnership with the Haitian Lawyers Association, State Representative Christopher Benjamin, and Congresswoman Frederica Wilson at Ulita Park Community Center at 386 Northeast 169th Street from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. once again at Ulita Park Community Center here in the great city of North Miami Beach. And the city of North Miami Beach has a calendar of events to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. On September 22nd, join the City of North Miami Beach Library for Señorita Marcy. And on September 23rd, celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month on September 23rd with Con Accento. Join us in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month at NMB Library for an art exhibit. Artists, salsa, concert, live music, mariachi, food and beverage, all happening from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. And please put it on your calendar. Save the date for NMB Bites y Música, una grande celebración de la cultura latina on October 15, 2022 from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, an annual campaign to raise awareness about the impact of breast cancer. On October 1st, At the North Miami Beach Library, please join Commissioner Smuckler and the North Miami Beach Commission on the Status of Women in conjunction with La Liga contra el Cáncer for free mammogram services. Your health is your wealth, and early detection saves life. Free mammogram service for women 40 to 60 years old who are low income with no insurance. Mamografías gratis para mujeres de entre 40 y 60 años de bajos ingresos y sin seguro médico. Nambiye de mammogram gratis pour femmes qui gagnent ti revenus ou soit qui pagent assurance entre 40 et 60 ans. Tant pis, vini, participar, support, participate, and share this vital information with those who can use it. That's October 1st at the North Miami Beach Library from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And during that time, it will be followed with a breast cancer roundtable. Very important. Sponsored by the Commission on the Status of Women and Commissioner Fortuna Smuckler. There will be a breast cancer awareness physician roundtable that focuses on breast cancer and domestic violence awareness month. That will be October 1st from 12:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the North Miami Beach Library. And also in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, also in honor and recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, join North Miami Beach Mayor Anthony DeFilippo for a celebration of life in conjunction with Sharing the Grace on Saturday, October 8, 2022, here at the McDonald's Center. There will be food, games, raffles, testimonies, speeches, and so much more. You can go to nmbcelebrationoflife.eventbrite.com to register. There'll be a mammogram truck, blood donation truck. Again, nmbcelebrationoflife.eventbrite.com to register. Lastly, help us revamp our NMB website. The City of North Miami Beach needs your help as we work to redesign the city website. You can pull out your phone right now and scan the QR code that is on the screen. Again, pull it out right now or go to citynmb.com. That concludes the announcements from your City of North Miami Beach Public Affairs Department. Thank you for listening.
Welcome to the AARP network of age-friendly states and communities, or the network for short. This is the first in a series of modules that will guide you through the process of making your community more age-friendly by joining the network. In this module, we'll talk about why age-friendly communities are so important. We'll explore some of the challenges related to our increasing lifespans and how the network can help solve these problems in your community. And finally, we'll give you an overview of the process for joining the network. Everything from forming a team and assessing your community's needs to creating an action plan to address those needs. First, let's review what the AARP network of age-friendly states and communities is. The network is a voluntary membership program that serves as a framework for state and local leaders to implement changes that make communities more livable for people of all ages. The network is a forum to share national and global research, planning models, and best practices. While most municipalities that join the network are counties, cities, or towns, in 2017, AARP expanded the network to allow states and territories to enroll. So what exactly do we mean by age-friendly? Well, age-friendly communities are places that make it easy for people to live their best lives at every age. They offer diverse housing and transportation choices, safe and accessible public spaces, and ways for people of all ages and abilities to participate in their community. Age-friendly communities also promote health, access to information for all, and opportunities for increased social engagement. It's important to remember that age-friendly communities aren't just for older adults. Surveys conducted by AARP show that older and younger adults share similar concerns. Our survey shows that people of all ages and from every generation value the same community features. Things like well-maintained healthcare facilities, parks, and grocery stores are important to people of all ages.
So why are age-friendly communities important? Worldwide, the population is aging, and the United States is no exception. In fact, our population is aging more quickly than you might expect. In 2015, there were almost 46 million people aged 65 or older. By 2030, there will be 73 million people aged 65 or older. By what year do you think older adults will outnumber children in the United States? 2035? 2050? Or do you think that older adults will never outnumber children? By 2035, there will be more people aged 65 years or older in the United States than children. For the first time in U.S. history, older adults will outnumber children. Also, people are living longer. In 1950, the life expectancy for Americans was 68. Today, it is 78. And today's average 10-year-old has a 50% chance of living to 104. AARP survey results show that people over the age of 50 have a strong desire to stay in their home and community as they age, and they're making plans to do so. However, many of our communities weren't designed for an aging population. For example, did you know that in the United States, men typically outlive their ability to safely drive by 6 years, and women by a full decade? And here's a really important thing to know. People can become isolated in places where it is hard to get around, especially after they stop driving. And extended periods of isolation can have devastating effects on physical health. In fact, the health risks of prolonged isolation are equal to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Take a moment to think about your community. Is it easy for people who don't or can't drive to shop, work, and socialize? For those who want to downsize or move to more flexible or accessible housing, are there housing options available in the community? Does your community have ways to help residents of all ages connect and socialize? If you're worried that your community is not built to support the needs of a growing number of aging people, you're not alone. Joining the AARP network of age-friendly states and communities can help your community tackle issues like these. Communities of all sizes can enroll. Our network includes communities with populations of less than 100 people and some with more than 10 million, and membership is free. Let's take a look at the steps involved in joining the network. Joining the network isn't a certification or designation that your community is age-friendly. Rather, it is a public commitment by local leadership to become an age-friendly state or community, one that serves people of all ages. First, identify some likely stakeholders in this work. Look around to see who already has a hand in serving the needs of older adults, or who is shaping the housing and transportation options in your community. Assess what elected officials are saying about the community and identify potential champions for this effort, as well as those who could play an important support role. This is the beginning of your project team. Once you've done that, decide on a convener to lead the work. The convener will be responsible for completing an application to submit to AARP to join the network. The application will collect basic information about your community, and it will identify some of the major challenges and opportunities that are likely to arise. The convener will also be responsible for working with your local government if they're not the lead themselves. A signed letter of commitment from your highest local or state elected official is a requirement to join, and it must accompany and support your application. Once enrolled, you'll need to follow the age-friendly process, which requires your team to conduct an assessment of your community's needs, create an action plan that builds on community strengths and preferences, implement your action plan, periodically review your progress in the action plan, share best practices or your key learnings with other age-friendly communities, write a progress report at the end of year 5.
We'll go into more detail about each phase of the process in the following modules. What can you expect at the end of this 5-year process? Well, here are some typical results. Communities in later phases of the process told us 60% achieved a change in public policy. The most frequent policy changes involved improvements in housing, transportation, outdoor spaces and buildings, and health and community services. 34% reported that private sector investment or action had taken place as a result of their age-friendly work. The most frequent investments were related to housing, health and community services, or communication and information. 85% described other successes, including raising awareness of age-friendly issues, increasing collaboration within the community, integrating an age-friendly lens into strategic planning. This concludes Module 1. We hope you have a better understanding of what makes age-friendly work so important and how joining the network can help to create a community that serves people of all ages. In our next module, we'll explore what we call the 8 domains of livability. These are the principles behind age-friendly work. They can help you better understand your community's needs and set priorities for action.
What is this, the matinee? Wow.
Mr. Vice Mayor, thank you very much for indulging me in the video. Just to let everyone know, this is one of the items on our consent agenda, and we're working very diligently with Commissioner Jean and Commissioner Vallard to offer more elderly services here in this community. So I just thought it was very important. This one is a big one that we're doing behind the scenes, working on it. Not much discussion has been had on it, but I wanted to make sure that I played the video so the residents know this is some of the things that we're going to be bringing to them and moving forward in this new fiscal year. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Greatly appreciate it. You know, for someone who sat through a certification course for Medicare, I kind of had some memories there when I saw the first of, I don't know how many modules. I thought we were going to go through all of them and get recertified. I was going to ask you for some continuing education credits. Anyways, thank you so much. And I do value, I know we're joking, but I do value what was just brought before us, and I think it's so important that we start looking at how we build equity, right? And make sure that everyone has access to our community. And I think one of the things, I went to Smart Cities last week, and you know, that was one of the topics of discussion when it comes to smart cities, is how do you make it equitable for everyone, whether they're seniors or whether they're youth. So thank you, Commissioner Jean, Commissioner Vallard, and staff. All right, is that it for announcements?
That's it, sir.
Okay, just so on the record, so those of you know, the mayor had to step away for the evening, so as vice mayor, I will be facilitating the meeting. All right, and so we're going to move forward with commission reports, and we're going to start off with Commissioner Jean.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to take the time to put on the record for the 2 items that were on consent, starting with the AARP age-friendly designation. Again, I wanted to thank the city manager and send a quick shout out to one of my colleagues in Miami Gardens, Councilman Robert Stevens, who told me about this special designation. So excited to see that all the work that Commissioner Vallard has been doing with the seniors, this is kind of giving us another layer of care as it relates to what we do as a comprehensive plan to work together with our community. And secondly, as it relates to the education fund, as many of you know, we have allocated some money through ARPA for scholarships. So if you have a student graduated, or even someone who's interested, a resident who's interested in continuing their education via vocational credits, those scholarships are also made available to you. And again, I want to thank all of our residents for staying with us throughout the night, and thank you again.
Thank you, Commissioner Jean. Commissioner Kramer.
Thank you. Just a couple of things. The Multicultural Committee has been waiting on an approval for the Magical History Tour to take place October 23rd, so I was wondering if I can get an answer from the manager that we can go ahead with it.
I'll be looking at it. I just finished working on the budget.
I would like it doesn't cost any money. Can you please give us an
Well,
answer?
it's staff time, and I need to get a trolley and a bunch of stuff. I haven't looked at it yet. I'll be looking at it this week. Thank you.
You're incredible, just incredible. Just want everybody to know that the Multicultural Committee's idea of a taste of Hispanic culture was hijacked. Back in May, I asked for, on behalf of the committee, that we would like to do something similar to the Taste of Haiti, and I never got an answer. And then the next thing I know, the city is doing it. And the Magical History Tour, I can't even get an answer on something that costs nothing, okay? Really nothing. You could use the bus, and you can use a city employee to do this, and I have discretionary funds for it. But this is how I'm treated because I'm outspoken. It's incredible. I want to wish my Jewish friends a very happy and healthy and sweet New Year, and at Yom Kippur, please have an easy fast. Thank you. I have a headache, I'm leaving.
Commissioner Smuckler.
Well, I wanted to wish everyone a happy new year, Shana Tova Tika Tevu. And for Yom Kippur, I also wanted to wish everyone to have an easy fast. And on Yom Kippur, it's a day where we ask for forgiveness. So if I've done anything wrong to staff, employees, my residents, and my fellow commissioners, and I know that I have, I ask them now for forgiveness. To my residents as well, if I've done you wrong, if I've upset you, I take this moment to again ask for forgiveness. I'm excited about Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm a very proud Cuban American, and I'm glad that I was able to get on the flyer for the pastelitos. I was glad that I was able to get the Cuban flag put on it when it wasn't, and I'm not blaming the person who did the flag, who did the flyer, because he doesn't have the final approval of it. And for the Hispanic Heritage events that have been happening in the last week or so, although I was not included, I participated and was happy to be there. I'm a little bit upset that there was a proclamation given and I was not told about it or asked to come to be part of it, because as a Hispanic and as a Cuban American, I felt that I should have been there and should have been able to acknowledge it. And I'm excited about that this Friday evening at the library. There will be a Hispanic Heritage event, and also on October 15th. We have not had, Commissioner Florimond and I had on the Civil Service Board for discussion a few times, and I don't know why it's been taken off, but if Commissioner Florimond, if it's okay, Vice Mayor Florimond, if it's okay with you, I request that they put it back on for October, if that's okay with you.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe we had given authority to the staff to meet with some members of legal team and employees. So
yeah, but that was a while ago.
It was. So I do agree with that.
Maybe you should have it back on October.
We gave an update memo at the last commission meeting, and we the HR director and myself will meet with your representative to iron out some issues that wasn't ironed out prior to this directive that the city commission gave us. So allow us to meet. The directive was to work and come up with a game plan.
Are you able to get something to us by the next meeting?
We will try, but we want to meet with the union reps. So there's some issues in terms of who falls under the umbrella, who doesn't. We want to make sure we're on the same page and agreement.
Okay. Well, if we can,
we'll work towards that goal.
Please.
But if there's anything happen, I will let the commissioner know.
Okay, Commissioner Smuggler, you have the floor, so.
Yes, thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, and it's only been like 4 years that I've been asking for this, so if we can please, now that
Yeah, we've been
Vice
working on
Mayor, yes, I know, but it's only been 4 years and now Vice Mayor is in on it too, so it's, power and, value or whatever the saying goes, so please let's get this done. There's a domestic violence walk on October 1st, together with the, breast cancer awareness, mammogram-mobile and awareness, forum. And I know that there's other events going on in the city that day, and I'm a little bit sad that there is other events going on in the city that day because domestic violence is so important, and people just don't realize how many victims there are, how many people have died, how many victims, and how many people don't even speak up. It's such an important event. It's something that's been going on in our city for years and years, not during COVID time. So it's important, and I hope that everybody can come. It's October 1st. It starts at 8 in the morning. I believe the walk is at 10. This is something that the police department has been doing for years, and something I have been doing so many years prior to becoming a commissioner. Something I believe in, something that no one that I personally know is affected by it unless they're hiding it, but something I believe in, and something I think that, and not just women are victims of domestic violence, but men as well. And I would appreciate it if everybody would go and respect and acknowledge domestic violence and be part of our walk and be part of that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Smuggler. Commissioner Villard?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm sorry.
Vice Mayor.
Vice.
Although
Thank you.
I do appreciate.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Vice Mayor, for,
Vice Mayor.
you know, it's so funny to be sitting here, to see all the drama that's going on. You know, an elected official is a person who sits on the dais to work for 4 years, you know, to serve the community for 4 years, not for 6 months during election. And to me, all those political dramas going on, I hope the resident, and first of all, I want to say I'm sorry to the resident for all these profanities that the mayor was using, you know, disrespecting the audience that was here. And then, you know, I'm looking at some people here talking because of politics. Let's just, and I want to thank Mrs. Kaplan, who came here and tell the truth. First of all, we had a town hall meeting with two commissioners. Pictures of 2 commissioners were on the flyer. But you know, for someone to come here and talk about 1 commissioner is disgraceful. But you know what, I'm not going to talk about this, but I'm happy that the residents can see what's going on. You know, all of a sudden, you know, everybody's coming out to talk about everything that's going negative in the city. But for the past 3.5 years, most of us here were not doing anything. Commissioner Villard has been working from the day one that I swore in to say I become the commissioner. So I've been working here for 4 years, serving the community. So now if you guys want to come here doing politics, and I'm listening to some residents, some of them wanted the mayor to be out. They said the mayor is illegal because he's here for more than two terms and stuff like that. And now everybody's like happy and dandy and everything like that. You know, let's respect our residents. Let's not do politics. And if we want to win elections, get out the way that you've been working, serving your community. You don't have to worry about anything. But do not assassinate somebody's character because you think that's the way you're gonna win elections. So let's respect each other on the dais. Let's respect our residents because this is why we are here to serve them. And you know, I'm glad Mrs. Kaplan said it was in 2016 something happened. And for you guys to be using a person who got hurt in politics, for politics, this is really bad. And then all those people who were talking, I've never seen them doing anything until the past 6 months. Okay, so I know the residents have been watching. And then, you know, talking about the city being so bad now, I remember in 2018, before we came to the dais, Miami Herald posted an article that the city of North Miami Beach was the second most corrupt city in the county. We were not here; those four were not here. When mayors, elected officials were getting arrested, we were not here. So if you guys want to be fair and just tell the truth. Don't try to assassinate people's character for no reason. We are here. I was a police officer. For 27 years and 10 months, I worked for the City of Miami Police Department. I am a law-abiding citizen. So for you guys to try to hurt me by saying negative things, this is wrong. But you know what? God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Villard. And Commissioner Joseph?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. No, I just want to, as I mentioned earlier, you know, we had an item on the county commission's budget for appropriations of about $500,000 by Commissioner Monestein. Looks like that was held through at the budget meeting yesterday. So I want to say thank you to the Commissioner for having foresight to always having NMD at the top of his mind when it comes to really giving back and making sure that we have as much resources as we can give to our community. And that $500,000 will likely is earmarked for Washington Park. Y'all know how we need as much money as possible to do what we would love to do there. So it was a nice big chunk that's coming our way, and I just wanted to say thank you to Commissioner Monestein and his leadership in making that happen. Also, you know, I wish everyone a good holiday coming up. Stay safe out there, and thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Joseph. And for my report, I would like to say that, Mr. Manager, I think we need a process for nonprofits and community organizations to come and request funds and or for us to give them funds. I think this was brought up some time ago, not under your leadership, but I think when we talk CDBG and those types of things, usually the legislators used to have a process where nonprofits would come to them, fill out a form, make a request, and then they just go through it either during the budget season and get it all approved or determine what they're going to do. And then once that's done, it's done for the year. I think that would help us to kind of mitigate some of the issues that we're having throughout the year as it relates to whether or not we support an organization or do this or do that. So I wanted to see that come before us at some point, that we implement a policy that we can vote on as a commission. Also, I'd like to see a water workshop. There's a lot of talk about what's happening with the water plan and water utility. That's always a topic of conversation, but I do know, especially with the contracts and things that we have for some of the consulting, we need to just get an update as to where we're at with the transition and where we're going with that. And also, I want to remind that we did request a planning and zoning workshop on how the fine details of planning and zoning works, etc. So if I can see that come up sooner than later, that would be good, and I'm looking to you for some expediency on that. I believe Rosh Hashanah is September 25th through the 27th this year. So I would like to acknowledge Rosh Hashanah, and also Yom Kippur is coming up. I know we, definitely would like to say to our Jewish community that we wish them happy holidays, and may you be safe and enjoy a sweet New Year. All right. So with that said, we're going to move forward to
Vice Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
May I have a point?
Of course.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that you did say a planning and zoning workshop, but we're also supposed to be having a workshop
conversation about that as well.
So everyone.
The board workshop.
Yes, and also I just wanted to, I don't know which Commissioner Villard, forgot, but there was 5 of us that were not here. We forgot one, not sure which one, don't care which one, but we were 5 that were not here, not 4.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Smuggler.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys have the list of workshops that we need to have, so perhaps we do a retreat or something right here at City Hall. And we can move forward with that. Also, Jackson North Hospital was here, and her esteemed CEO, Dr. Severe, was here to give a presentation. I know we took too long and they weren't able to do that, so we do apologize to them and hope that they will come at our next commission meeting to give that presentation.
They were actually my guest, I had asked them to come.
So we hope that they'll come in the next.
I'm working on it, they will be here in October, God willing.
All right, very well, thank you. And we're going to move on now to the consent agenda. Mr. Attorney, if you could read it into the record.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Item 9.1 is regular City Commission meeting minutes of August 16, 2022. Item 9.2, sponsored by Commissioner Law and Commissioner John, is a resolution authorizing the city manager to create an Office of Aging Wellness within the particular city department, develop a comprehensive program for seniors. Item 9.3, sponsored by Commissioner Danielle John, authorizes the city manager to create a specific budgetary account to be called Education Fund, account to support education initiative for residents of North Miami Beach. Item 9.4 is a resolution, city manager recommend approval of the ranking of the most highly qualified firms that's responded to requests for qualification, design service for Allen Park and DeLonis Community Center. Authorize the city manager to negotiate agreement with the most qualified firm. Item 9.5 is a resolution approving the award invitation bid for sanitizing and disinfecting service. Item 9.6 is a resolution authorizing utilization of Florida Department of Management Service for the purchase of city information technology hardware in amount of $2,573. Item 9.7 is a resolution approving a change order to the general service agreement between the city of North Miami Beach and the United States Service Industries, Inc. Item 9.8 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to seek membership in ARC Network for age-friendly states and communities to become part of a global network. This item is sponsored by Commissioner John. Item 9.9 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept grant funds from the Florida Department of Agriculture in an amount of $30,000. A street tree master plan. Item 9.10 is a resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to accept grant funds from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection in an amount of $50,000. Item 9.11 is a resolution sponsored by Commissioner Villard. It's a resolution authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $250,000 to provide financial relief to residents who may suffer financial insecurity due to COVID-19 and mandatory water rate increase for the city. Item 9.12 is a resolution sponsored by Commissioner Michael Joseph. Resolution authorizing the city manager to establish a sister city relationship between the city of North Miami Beach and the town or village of Sulphur, St. Lucia. Item 9.13 is a resolution sponsored by Commissioner Michael Joseph. Resolution authorizing the city manager to establish a protocol of friendship between the city of North Miami Beach and Jackson, Mississippi, and Seattle, Washington. Item 9.14 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a negotiation with Palmetto Homes Urban Development Inc. As a sole proposer of city-owned property for affordable housing. Item 9.15 is a resolution calling for a general election to be held on November 8, 2022 for the purpose of electing persons to fill 3 city commissioner seat, Group 2, Group 4, and Group 6, providing for a runoff election if required to be held on November 22nd, 2022. Item 9.16 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept the burn grant for the police department. Item 9.17 is a resolution approving a letter of intent between the city of North Miami Beach and Keys Building LLC for the purchase of a building located at 1911 Northeast 172nd Avenue. Providing the city manager authority to execute a purchase agreement for property at a price of $1,670,000. Item 9.18 is a motion to approve a request to extend the operating time for Deeds Grove between from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. The business license. Item 9.19 is a similar motion, a motion to extend the operation hours of G5 from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. Providing for severability, providing for effective date. Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. I'm complete.
Thank you. I need a motion.
Motion.
Okay, motion by Commissioner.
One second.
Oh, we need, I'm sorry, we lost quorum. Madam Commissioner Smuggler, whenever you get a moment, we need you. No worries, okay. She needs 30 seconds, guys. All right, we have quorum. I need a motion.
My apologies.
We got a motion, Commissioner Joseph. We got a second, Commissioner Ballard. All right, voice vote. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
I oppose.
All right, motion passes 4-1. All right.
Mr. Vice Mayor.
Yes, ma'am, you recognize Commissioner Ballard?
Thank you. No, I just wanted to say that in reference to the water, it is common knowledge that the COVID-19, the pandemic, in 2020 has affected a lot of people in our community. From regular people to businesses and municipalities such as us in North Miami Beach. Before we had any idea that would happen worldwide, we didn't know really what COVID was going to be in 2020. The city passed an ordinance in 2019 to increase the water rate for the next 5 years to support capital improvements to our water plant. These 4.5 increases yearly for 5 years are scheduled to be effective by October 1st each year until 2024. But however, in my position as an elected official, I want to ensure that we help our residents, since a significant part of our city's population is suffering from financial insecurity due to a growing affordability challenge. This resolution aims, the water resolution that we talked about earlier, aims to help our residents by providing a one-time subsidy of $250,000 to offset the yearly water rate increase. And we'll also offer credits to single and multi-family dwellings for the next fiscal year. I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Commissioner Ballard, for your foresight to assist our residents with their water utility bill. We appreciate you. Let's go ahead and move on to legislation. We don't have any quasi-judicial, although I did see.
That was for Deeds Gold.
That was for Deeds Gold?
Yeah, that was for Deeds Gold.
All right, well, can we recognize?
I just talked to them, they were approved.
Okay, so we're good to go, okay. All right, and good to see you, we missed you last time. You sent your son, and we're glad to see you back.
Alan just wanna know that, show you guys is here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Rosenthal, for your time.
Thank you, and we appreciate your son too. You're just a familiar face for us, so thank you so much. Legislation, 11.1, Mr. Attorney.
Item 11.1 is ordinance granting to Pivotal Utility Holdings Inc., doing business for the city gas, non-exclusive gas franchise in Frozen provision and condition relating thereto, providing for monthly payment of franchise fee to the city, and providing for effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Mr. Manager, you want to say anything on that?
No, sir, we're good.
Okay, I need a motion.
Well, public hearing, sir, that's the case.
Okay, so do we need a motion to introduce?
Motion to introduce.
Okay, second. And public hearing?
If anyone wishes to speak on this item, please step to the podium. Vice Mayor, we do not have anyone signed up. and
All right.
I don't see anyone coming.
Anyone with questions? Commissioner Jean?
None.
Commissioner Smuggler?
Nothing.
Commissioner Villard?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Joseph?
Nothing.
Okay, I need a motion to approve.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
It's an ordinance, we should do a roll call.
Roll call, go ahead.
Commissioner Jean?
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph?
Yes.
Commissioner Kramer? Excuse me. Commissioner Ballard?
Yes.
Commissioner Smucker?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Frymark?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. 11.2, Mr. Attorney.
Yes, 11.2 is ordinance amending the city of North Miami Beach comprehensive plan to add a property rights element as required by state law, providing for effective date.
I need a motion to introduce.
Motion to introduce.
I need a second.
Second.
Public comment? Staff? Anything? Okay, if there's nothing from the staff.
Mr. Kazan said he had public comment. Let's wait for Mr. Kazan.
If staff, do you have something to say, Mr. Walia?
I'm just providing a brief introduction. It's a comprehensive plan requirement by the state statute law. It just indicates that whenever you make land development decisions, that you're taking into consideration property rights matters. It's something that came into law July 1st.
Okay.
State requirement, we're just following to the T exactly what the state required.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walia. Any public comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this comprehensive plan. I wasn't there at the last meeting, but I understand that some people wanted to take the tennis court that we have there, the Snyder tennis court, and turn it into another concrete jungle. Can you let the people know that our parks, open spaces, such as like that tennis court is protected land? You cannot just make deals with people and claim that you can give it away and close up our spaces. We have other places that we can build those high rises that you're talking about without sacrificing our parks. But some of you know everything, so you don't want to correspond with residents. One commissioner always tell me, put it in writing. He doesn't want to hear what I have to say. That is okay. Everything is for a time. But our parks, open spaces, in this comprehensive plan, it should have been spelled out. They're protected spaces, and you can't, come up with willy-nilly plans that you're going to give it away to your newly found developer friends and newly found lobbyist friends. It can't work. I just want to mention that to you, that we're keeping an eye on you. State laws state that you can't give it away, as well as county laws. So you can try your little thing, and we're going to get the state and we're going to get the county to come on you. And you seem to have a good attorney, law firm representing you. We'll see what they will do when the time comes for this. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Public comment is still open. Public comment is not closed. I need a motion to approve.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Commissioner Mark,
Yes.
Commissioner Smucker,
No.
Commissioner Jean,
Yes, I didn't hear Commissioner Smucker's vote.
Said no.
No.
Commissioner Smother, you understand this provision? This is a state mandate, planning mandate.
I'm actually trying to, if you can give me a moment so I can.
Okay, I just want to make sure you understand this is required by state law to put this element. Comprehensive plan, obviously, for the public is the land use constitution of the city. It basically provides how land is developed in the city. And about 2 years ago, the state legislature passed a law that required all local governments to implement property rights element, really to protect property owners from the government overreach in terms of taking their lands or also imposing unreasonable regulation to stop them from developing their land. So this is required by state law.
Thank you for your explanation, Commissioner Smuckler.
So wait, so it doesn't have to pass unanimously, right?
No, I just want to.
Commissioner Smuckler, is your vote still a no, or are you moving to some other type of conclusion?
No, he's talking to me, so.
He gave an explanation. We're in the process
Okay,
of voting.
then if I can't talk, then it's gonna be no.
Okay, thank you. Keep roll calling, I'm sorry.
Vice Mayor Frymark,
Oh, okay, yes,
passes 4-1.
thank you. All right, item 11.3, Mr. Attorney. I'm sorry, well, that was on consent.
11.4.
Item 11.4.
Resolution approving the vacation ban on a 30-foot wide square feet portion of Northeast 153rd Terrace between Northeast 14 Court and 15 Court for the expansion and redevelopment of Washington Park Community Center. Providing for effective date.
I need a motion to introduce.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All right, let's open it up for public comment or staff. Well, let's go with staff first and then we'll go to public comment.
Yeah, I'll just provide us a brief introduction. I just have a slide, bring it up. It's just showing the Washington Park parcel. As you can recall, you have the pool and the community center on one side of the street, and you have the basketball courts on the other side of the street. Flip to there you go. So that little blue portion right there is the portion of right-of-way that needs to be vacated. Just so you can make one contiguous parcel for the Washington Park redevelopment. And you don't want, residents and children crossing that road as well where there's traffic. So it's just the abandonment of the right of way, so we move on with the project. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment is now open. Public comment is open.
Yes, Mubarak Kazan. I want to fully support that move that you're making. Also, I heard over the several months that the residents in Washington Park has been complaining that the city and city staff is not listening to their suggestions. I do not know how factual it is, but people have come up here and said that they're not listening to their suggestions. I also have some suggestions with the pool design. I hope that I can meet with the chief staff member to go over that. And when you say Washington Park also includes the neighborhood around it, which includes my neighborhood as well, Freeman Heights and many. Matter of fact, any part of the city, anybody can go there after this thing here is finished. And you have to listen to the residents as well. And the suggestion that I have for the pool, any 3-year-old can jump into that pool, and with the design that I have in mind, and start splashing and 2-3-year-old and learning to swim. You just have to have an open mind and just don't think I'm the enemy of the government. I'm a friend of the people. Thank you very much for having me.
Public comment is still open. Public comment is closed. Let's bring it up here. Any discussion?
Motion.
All right.
I have a comment.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Commissioner Sean.
So much. I wanted to, I'm a little bit under the weather, sorry. I wanted to ask the manager about the update we were asking for as it relates to the plans. I know that the community has been waiting for such a long time, and you know, I commend your administration for really taking a foot forward and really giving us concrete evidence that there is a plan that's actually moving forward in comparison to years in the past. But I also wanted to kind of find out, based on the ask that was made, have you taken any direction in that place, and if you can elaborate on that?
Well, with what's currently going on, we've been moving forward with the plans being developed. We've been talking to the architects that are putting the plan together. We did, and I did state, we did get a cost of approximately about, if there's supposed to be a 2-story facility built that some people are asking for, that facility itself would cost approximately $11 million by itself. That doesn't account for building a pool, that doesn't account for the parking lot, that doesn't account for the playground, doesn't account for the multi-purpose field, all of that. So that's, and then we anticipate that being another $9 million, so we'll be at about $20 million, probably a little more, because the cost of construction is gonna go up by the time we get to that. Right now, we have in place, there is $12 million budgeted. We have $12 million in hand, and we've put together everything for the $12 million. If we wanted to move forward or do something different, it would cost us approximately $900,000 for them to go and now draw this 2-story building. Remember, once you go to 2-story, everything changes. You know, they got to recalculate everything. What they did tell us is the footprint isn't enough. We still won't have enough parking if we go to 2 stories because there's certain parking requirements depending on the square footage of the building. So and the building height. For that resident, it's gonna in that community, it's gonna look like the Taj Mahal. So, you know, I mean, people are. I mean, it's something that they're saying was promised. I think they showed a concept drawing that was done back in the days, but it's still, you know, we're moving forward as you know we were directed to do to move it forward. We have a completion date of I think it was summer of 2020, fall of 2024. But if anything wants to change, you know, we're here to take direction.
Okay, so then the 2 other points. So the only point of contention was the 2nd story, as it relates to what the community is debating on.
Yeah, everything was fine, and you know, but there's some people saying there's going to be a 2nd story. That is, you know, I mean, you know, the one thing is you say a 2nd story, and you know what everybody wants, but somehow the board prior to me coming here voted on a $12 million project. A 2-story building is not a $12 million project. So I didn't set the budget for this. You know, the budget was here. We just came and executed what was already in place, the plan in place. We got the drawings done. We got everything done that was there. We met with the residents. We've changed the configuration that was, I know it was problems of the multi-purpose room being too small. We extended that. We got it to almost 250 people could fit inside the multi-purpose room. The computer labs there, library, the mini libraries in there. We made the pool a little bigger. And then I know this board talked about, when we were in Washington Park, they talked about the facade of the back of the building. The back of the facades have been updated. That way it doesn't nowhere looks like the back of a building. And then the memorial bricks that everybody wanted, that people could purchase memorial bricks. All of that has been put in place. And we're ready to move forward. Well, we are moving forward. I haven't gotten hit the brakes from the dais yet. So I'm moving forward to get it done. And like we say, fall 2024, we anticipate it being completed.
Last question was to Commissioner Joseph's advocacy. I know there was a first about promise from Commissioner Modesty. What you're mentioning is another.
Yeah, it's 750 we got initially. You got another 500 is coming. We got 2.9 that's supposed to be in the federal budget from the it may be part of the continuing resolution that's pending right now, and that Congresswoman Wilson put into the budget. I don't know if that's inclusive of the 12 million. Is the 750 plus the 5 plus an anticipated 2.9 inclusive of it or no?
The 12 million was strictly for the building, but the 750 I spent on purchasing the property across the street.
Okay, and the 5, so that's, now we have another 500 that's coming.
So 12.5.
And then we have a,
maybe.
Well, it's in the budget. It really is, it's in the budget. It has to get passed. Like I said, there's a continuing resolution that's pending. You know, all intents and purposes, it'll probably get passed before November, or get passed in lame duck session. That's from the feedback I got. But that being said, that is a 2.9. So your number's at 20. The number your estimate is around 20.
20.
And this is what, 13? How much is it? No, 15.
Probably about 14.
15.
714. You're spending another $1 million on doing the new plans.
Yeah. So it's around that.
It'd be about 6 million short, 5-6 million short.
Now I don't know, just so because I want to be able to let's say the option that you currently have is the only best option. From a the issue becomes financing, right? So if you're telling me we have that amount of money, like hard money right now, we have 12. Let's just say we have 12. Now, what type of, is there any type of financing mechanism we could utilize to get the remaining amount at all?
Well,
I mean, like, are there certain bonds that we could put out? Is there anything we could possibly do to come up with a shortfall? If not, then I would like to be able to say we exhausted everything. This is where we are.
Well, I mean, there's never, I can't sit here and say there's nothing you can do. I mean, you could go out for a GO bond and ask the residents to pay the extra $7 million for Washington Park. You can put that on, you put a referendum out for them to pay for it. You can turn around, I don't think we have the revenue bond. We don't have the revenue to do a revenue bond to support that out of general fund, to fund $7 million. I mean, we could look into that, but that's on this board saying that we're gonna do a revenue bond and try to, so then we'll have to set aside money out of the general fund, a certain amount, every year to pay for it.
Mr. Manager, okay, so just so we can, kind of, move the ship a little bit. Commissioner Jean's questions were answered, right? Commissioner Joseph has some questions about.
No, I can finish up, Vice Mayor. This is what I was saying. I know this. What I suggest, right? Because I think it behooves us to have one final meeting on Washington Park, outlining this and coming to a decision. Either we say, hey, this is where we stop, or we got to move forward at that point. I think that's something that is apropos, given the fact that there is still this feeling that we're not doing as much as we can. You hear it, Commissioner John hears it, everyone on the stage hears this in some capacity, and I just want to give that community one additional opportunity to really, voice their concerns and for us to just.
But again, we will need to buy additional property for parking. It's what we want to do here. We've talked about it.
No, I know. The one option was to make it possibly a stackable situation like later on, but I understand.
You need more ground land.
I know. All I'm saying is that I think just to give just a little bit more credence to this community, because for a long time they've been kind of like put to the side and used as a way to promote or get brownie points come election time. I just want to give it some type of credence. I know we all have that same sentiment.
I just want to say this, and then I'm going to ask you guys to take a vote. We are moving forward.
We don't, let's no vote.
Okay, but I'm moving forward, and I don't want anybody to be mad because we have spent the money and we're moving forward. It's you know what I was instructed to do. Now, if you want me to stop, I'll stop.
Here's what I'll say to that, if I may.
I think the question just.
If I can.
Okay, so guys, here's what we're gonna do. All right, so Commissioner Jean, you'll say what you have to say and wrap up, and then you have a directive to see if there's any more financing options from Commissioner Joseph, and then we move on to a vote.
What I wanted to say was, it's fair that you are able to oversee the fiscal responsibility and know what's feasible, but a lot of the information is not being shared with the community. So to Commissioner Joseph's point,
And I agree with.
let's just have a conversation with the individuals who are really taking this to heart. I think it's fair based, because a lot of the updates that you gave, I wasn't privy to, and I'm sure the community is due another conversation. I don't think the conversation is going to cost anything, just to be able to have that open ear and to be able to say, yes, we're going to move forward, but this is what we were able to do. And in the case that we have more funds, these are the added features that we can add to the existing plan. But you have to understand that the community still wants to be able to have that open dialogue and feel like they're being heard. So I think that's just the real sentiment of this point that I'm trying to make.
I think that's a valid point, Commissioner Jean, and thank you, Commissioner Joseph, as well. All the questions about, second story, closed gym versus open gym, because some people said they wanted a closed door gym, and then when I spoke to some of the kids playing basketball, they said they want an open gym. So, we gotta make sure that at least we check off all the questions that people have. We have those responses with the research and whatever work you've done while moving this along, because they have been waiting for this for quite some time. So I believe you've been satisfied, Commissioner?
Yeah, I think the consensus is for us to have the conversation. I can motion to call the question.
Okay, and you've been satisfied, Commissioner Jean? No one else has anything to say? Motion is called. I need a second.
Second.
All right, roll call.
This is a resolution, you can do voice.
Okay, no problem. I need a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, let's move on. That's unanimously, by the way, unanimously. Item 11.5, Mr. Attorney.
Yes, it's a resolution approving the vacation abandoning a portion of 20-foot wide alleyway located between lots 18, 19 through 21, with the physical address of 1959 Northeast 164th Street, North Miami Beach. In favor of adjacent property on North Miami N&D Place Owner LLC. This resolution relates to the zoning approval of N&D Place, which one of the conditions was to vacate an internal alleyway is owned by the city, and this will basically vacate that alleyway that was a condition of the zoning approval relating to N&D Place development project.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. I need a motion to introduce.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All right, let's bring it out to the public for, well, first of all, staff, anything? Nothing from staff? All right, public comment is open. Public comment is now closed. All righty, let's bring it back up here for comments from the dais. Commissioner Jean?
No comment.
Commissioner Smuggler?
No comment.
Commissioner Villard?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Joseph?
No comment.
Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and move, I need a motion.
Motion.
All right, I need a second to approve.
Second.
I need a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. 11.6.
Mr. Vice Mayor, just want to note for the record, the manager could explain the financial benefits from this approval.
Oh, of course, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. So this one is the vacating of the alleyway for N&D Place next door. This actually will bring us in approximately $625,000 from the applicant who's looking for us to vacate the alleyway. Again, we are, as we've been doing, we're not just taking and spending, we are finding ways to bring dollars back in-house with this development going on. So thank the city attorney for all his help with this, and then definitely thank the developers from N&D.
Yes. Yeah, just for record, and consistent with the city manager comments, alleyway, the developer agreed to provide budgeted, so the manager will work with the developer. Those funds should be coming in within a reasonable time, okay?
Thank you so much. I see representatives from the developer here. Thank you for coming, and have a good night. 11.6, Mr. Attorney.
11.6 is sponsored by Commissioner Michael Joseph and Commissioner Polly Fillard. It's an ordinance of the City Commission, City of North Miami Beach, amending the time plan for police officers and firefighters in the City of North Miami Beach, amending section 6.01B, NC, normal retirement date and cost of living adjustment, amending section 6.01A, deferred retirement option plan, provide for repeal of all ordinance, provide for conflict, provide for severability, provide for effective date.
All right, this is first reading. I need a motion to introduce.
Motion.
Need a second. Thank you. Commissioner Joseph, motion. Commissioner Jean, second. All right, staff. Anything from staff?
Nothing from staff, sir.
Okay, thank you. Public comment is open. We have Janice Coakley.
Good evening again. In respect to the ordinance number 2210, I just would like to say.
Please state your name for the record.
I did?
No, I mentioned your name, but you didn't state it yourself.
Janice Coakley. In respect to the ordinance 2210, I just want to say what was stated at the August 16, 22 meeting when it was presented for the general employees, that all employees should be treated fairly. So the decision to get back to the employees is great, good, I love it. But in this ordinance, your plan is to give the police 4.5% annual for those who enter the drop. And, their percentage was, I believe, 3.5%. So why is it not so for the general employees who are still at 3%? Since you are giving the officers 4.5%, please do so for the others. It's only right and fair. Also, the general pension came before, maybe last month or two ago, that had, a cost of how much this would affect. So, what I'm stating is that from the previous, it was a certain percentage, and it's not going to that. So if the police is going to 4.5%, we would like for the general pension to be 4.5%. So again, I'm asking you all to treat each employee equally. And thank you.
Thank you. Public comment is still open. Public comment is not closed. We're bringing it back up for discussion. Commissioner Jean.
I just wanted an explanation on the ramifications of, not ramifications, but the benefits of this particular.
Oh, this is something that's years ago. City laid off a bunch of officers. They lost time and grade based on their pension. And if you left, then and decide to come back, you would not be placed in the same position that you were before. So they took some years away. And this is just the first step in really coming up with legislation to help out about 15 officers. 17.
Do you want HR to also give
no, because it's still
HR finance?
Well, no,
He's done a good job. Let me just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on. No, this is just trying to make things right with 17 officers that were pretty much done over years ago with the prior administration. Believe me, a lot of them are watching right now, and and we're just trying to make things right. That's all. We did to your point, Vice Mayor. You did this for the general employees not too long ago. This is just making it right for the officers. That's it.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Joseph. Commissioner Jean, you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to say I used to be a general employee, but when you think about first responders and the degree in which they put their lives, at stake for the general public and also the commission, I don't never want to compare the two. However, there is a higher degree of self-sacrifice, if you will, for first responders, officers. so thank you for bringing forth this legislation to kind of balance it out a little bit better. And also, speaking to the 8 positions that are still open, it also speaks to the point that individuals are not willing to put their lives on the line in these positions, hence why we do have these vacancies. So I really want to commend this legislation and also give the general employees a little bit more encouragement, but in also saying that being a first responder is a really sacrificial position. And so with that being said, there's just a different degree of sacrifice there.
Thank you, Commissioner Jean. And thank you also, Commissioner Villard, I think is co-sponsor, and Commissioner Smuggler.
Yes, thank you. So in the past, the police department has not been treated properly when it comes to their pension, their retirement, and it's about time that we start doing right by them, and hopefully for the general employees as well. But it's about time that we step up and stand up for them, because they're the ones that at the end of the night, and when I give my commissioner report, I didn't have today. Usually when I give my commissioner report, I always thank the police department for protecting me, my home, my residents, the businesses. I always thank them, and this is just another way of saying thank you to them.
Alrighty, Commissioner Villard.
Oh, thank you, Vice Mayor. Now, every time I think about, 2013, when those 17 police officers, especially, I won't say what type of, background or whatever, but there were 17 police officers fired in the city of North Miami Beach. And this is the reason today that we are short of 8 officers, because to recover from those 17 officers were hard. And for those officers who lost their job to stay home, as a retired police sergeant, I know how important it is, when you really protecting and serving, like Commissioner Daniel Agent said, you're sacrificing your life, your family, to be out there, and all of a sudden, you're already thinking that you have a mortgage to pay and, food to put on your table for your family, and all of a sudden, for no reason whatsoever, the elected official at that time, in 2013, decided instead of firing other people or lowering the money that administration was getting, they chose to fire police officers. I don't know how much safety meant to them at that time, but some of those officers are back, and we thank them for accepting to come back to the city of North Miami after they really, put them down, deceiving them when they were serving, they kicked them out, but they came back. So that's the reason why I think this is important, for them to get their pension, something that they've been waiting for so long. So, and I understand what Mrs. Coughlin said. We can always look at the general employees, because all of employees are important for real. But you know how these police officers out there are, sacrificing their lives, and the other employees are as well. All of them are important. So therefore, we can take a look at, the general employees later on. But we just want you to know that we consider each and every employee, because pension is important for all civil service employees. Thank you.
Thank you so
I want
much.
to remind everybody, we did do the general fund employees already. Yeah. We fixed their pension already.
All right, well, thank you everyone for your commentary. I need a motion to approve. All right, motion by Commissioner Joseph, seconded by Commissioner Jean. And this is also this one would be a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, go ahead.
Commissioner Villard?
Yes.
Commissioner Smuggler?
Absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Jean? Yes. Commissioner Joseph?
Yes.
Yes.
Carries 5-0.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to 11.7. Mr. Attorney, CRA budget adoption.
.7 is a resolution, City Commission of City of North Miami Beach, approving North Miami Beach Community Development Agency fiscal year budget 2022-2023. Authorize the city clerk or designate to transfer the budget to Miami-Dade County. Authorize the city manager to take all net action necessary to complete the approval process for the Community Development Agency fiscal year 2022-2023 budget for effective date.
All right, motion to introduce, please.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Joseph and Villar. And anything from staff?
No presentation, this is approving the same budget that we approved at the CRA meeting. Only thing, it's approving the same thing we already approved.
Thank you. Public comment is open. Public comment is closed. Let's bring it back up here for discussion. Commissioner Jean.
This is with also the amendment of the updates as it relates to the funds that the changes based on the millage rate.
Yes, and we probably still will come back and have another meeting to address some of that stuff.
Okay, yes.
After we convene.
Thank you.
Commissioner Smuggler.
I have no comment.
Commissioner Villard.
No, thank you.
Commissioner Joseph.
No comment.
Alrighty. Let's take it to a vote. I need a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph and Commissioner Jean. This is a roll call. No, I'm sorry. This is a voice vote. So let's go ahead and anybody, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. That does it for our main business. The business tax receipts were moved to consent agenda, so now we're going to appointments, item number 13.1. Mr. Attorney.
That's a city clerk introduction.
Sorry?
That's city clerk introduction.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, City Clerk.
Item 13.1, appointing Commissioner Barbara Kramer as Vice Mayor effective September 22nd, 2022.
All right, do we have a motion to approve? I don't hear a motion.
I'll make a motion.
All right.
I'll make a motion.
All right, do we have a second? All right, the item fails for lack of a second. Mr. Attorney, how do you propose that we move forward here?
It's within the board discretion to nominate any candidate for vice mayor.
All righty, okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and ask for a motion. I've been vice mayor now because of last month, I believe it was 5 months. So, I think that there's something about November, we have to do nominations. That's been typical throughout elections. So, I know that after, Commissioner Kramer, who's up next?
Commissioner Joseph, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Seat order.
Commissioner Joseph, I guess, is anyone gonna make a motion? We nominate Commissioner Joseph? Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, and do we have a second? I guess I will second that. Oh, you'll second? Well, I was gonna second.
Well, I'll let you do it, Vice Mayor, because I appreciate it.
Okay, I'll second it. All right. I didn't make you sweat or anything. Anyway, so we have a motion, we have a second. But I do want to say that in relation to this, I think we need an equitable process to get us back to where we were. Because we've been kind of out of whack.
I agree.
It happened with, I think we had one commissioner serve an extra month. A few months later, I served an extra month, and so we're not really in
You
line.
serve a couple of extra ones?
No, just one.
One,
Yeah. Does it feel like longer, Commissioner?
Huh?
Does it feel like much longer than 1 month?
Yeah, because you've been very active as a vice mayor.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And the meetings have been much longer too, not because of me, but they've been much longer. Anyways, so I think we need to find an equitable process. So I would like to add if I may, to the motion, or I offer an amendment, since Commissioner Joseph was nominated, that we, do it for the remainder of whatever term Commissioner Kramer was supposed to serve, and then in November, we, find an equitable process through our attorney's office to, get back on track with the appointment.
Yes, and the commission have a right to renominate Mr. Joseph. If to make it equitable.
Okay, all right, we'll take that up at that time. So that's my amendment to the motion. Is that accepted, Commissioner, Gillard?
Yes, accepted, yes.
And Commissioner, I seconded. Okay, so we're good. All right, so with that motion said, we're gonna appoint, we're gonna vote to appoint Commissioner Joseph for the remainder of the term that was supposed to be served by, Commissioner Kramer, and then November, after the election, we'll take up a vote at that time to make a more equitable process as led by our city attorney's office. I need a motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, sir. As of 12:01, you are the vice mayor.
As of 12:01?
12:01, 10:41. 10:41. I mean, we can't make this meeting a little longer now. All right, moving along, miscellaneous items, we have none. Discussion items, Commissioner Kramer is not here, so we'll go ahead and move forward on 15.1. Commissioner Smuggler, you're part of the 15.2, so we'll let you speak on that item.
All right, thank you so much. So in reality, what I wanted to speak about was a water credit, which I think I asked for it to be put on in the agenda around June, but July there was no meeting. In August, it was on the agenda for discussion item, and obviously it's on now in September. And Commissioner Villard went ahead and did a water rate increase, which is good. I mean, I would have asked for a little bit more, but
A credit, she did a credit.
Okay. Right. No, this is my discussion item, water rate increase is not to increase it. My discussion item was, about the water rate increase. So regardless, I did try to do a resolution together with Commissioner Villard, and she refused, which I think is the first time in NP history, but whatever. So I am grateful that we do have a water credit, for our residents, and, I'm just, following up because it was on here, and that's it, so thank you.
Can I say something?
Commissioner Villard?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. No, the reason that when I spoke to the manager told me there were a couple of commissioners, who wanted to be like Commissioner Joseph and Commissioner Smoke. I'm sorry to say your name.
Myself too? No, she said no to me too.
Yeah, so I said, like too many of you want it, so I'll just keep it the way that I have it, because the manager told me a few commissioners wanted to be part of that. So I said, no, because I didn't want to have so many co-sponsored, or selecting one out of three, which I thought it was two. So I said, instead of selecting one commissioner, I'm just gonna just keep it, just make a sponsor.
Well, I would have selected everybody different, so. All right.
But that's the reason I told the manager no to Commissioner Joseph and no to Commissioner Smoke.
Okay. I would have said yes to everybody, but, that's me. All right, that's it. Thank you.
All right, moving on, 15.3, American Rescue Plan Act Fund. Commissioner Kramer's not here, so we'll move on. Commissioner Smuggler, murals in North Miami Beach.
Yes, so thank you. And, the mural that's on, and I don't remember the address right now.
It's removed.
It's removed, yes. I did notice it's been removed.
Quickly, based on the complaint by both Commissioner you and Commissioner Law.
Right.
We did, the manager office work quickly, to give him notice. If he didn't remove that, unauthorized murals, we were gonna shut down his
Right,
business.
and I appreciate the quick work to get it removed, but what are we gonna do so this doesn't happen again?
First of all, murals are prohibited, without going through, appropriate process to get the commission to waive what, a zoning code. But what staff staff has been tasked through Commissioner Jean directing us to create an arts and public place ordinance. We created, working with obviously the Community Development Director Ken Wallier and Deputy City Attorney Pamela Ryan. We will present the commission with a comprehensive ordinance that basically have provision relating to murals where the commission can approve them, review them. And so, I think what we have seen in numerous cities in Miami-Dade County, murals are permitted if they are obviously approved through the zoning review process. So, this proposed ordinance will create that process, but at the same time, I think most importantly, it needs to be blessed by the commission, because we don't want you guys to walk down the street and say, "Who approved this?" Because we're not artists, but the taste of the community and the sensitivity of the community should come from the commission. What is appropriate?
Right, and just for those that are listening out there and don't know why I'm objecting to a mural, it wasn't art, it was a scene from Scarface, right? So,
It wasn't appropriate.
That wasn't appropriate to, for North Miami Beach or for any city. So murals, I'm sure they're beautiful, but this one was different, so thank you so much.
Vice Mayor, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I remember when I was just driving on a Saturday, and when I saw the mural for the first time, I was shocked, so I had to call the city attorney right away. I mean, I had to call him on the Saturday. I'm like, do you know anything about this mural? Because, they show you a beautiful lady with some big old cigars and all this. We don't know what it is. And I was telling the Mr. Attorney, and then he said, where is it? So I had to go around and take a picture of it and send it to him right away, because, and then that's the reflex of, police work, like, wait a minute, this is not appropriate in my city. So I thank you, Mr. Attorney, because,
There was this teamwork effort between all you guys, because and city manager staff, it was team.
And again, it's a scene from Scarface. And
Yeah,
that's
it was
that's
kind of
not-
like,
That's not an appropriate movie, it's not Teenage Ninja Turtles or.
it was just the way that it happened, but thank you.
All right, anyone else on this item? All right, so we're gonna move on to federal funding, okay, for environmental pump stations. Mayor DiFilippo is not here, so we'll move forward to Chief Harvette Smith on automated license plate readers.
Yes, basically, Mr. Manager, this item was an add-on item. We have these license plate readers at different locations in the city, especially the entry points of the city. We just need a motion to approve it if this was presented to my office by the city clerk office as an expedite item to make sure that the contract continue, because this will expire this month. So I don't know if the police chief or anyone will speak about the purpose.
All right, we need a motion to approve the license plate.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, Commissioner Joseph, second, Commissioner Jean. Do we really need staff on this one?
No, I mean, it's been a good police tool. I think the manager supported it. So.
All right, so let's go ahead and do a voice vote on this. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? All right. City Manager, do you have a monthly report for us?
No, sir. My monthly report, I believe, was mailed out, emailed to everyone, and emailed to the staff, as it always is. We are awaiting, the new city line is, I think, 90% done, or 95% done. So the new city line will be hitting the street shortly. We are wrapping up the solicitation for us to be able to, for the printing and the mailing of it. But city line will be hitting the street shortly. I'm sure the electronic version will probably be out in the next week or so.
All right, very good. Is that all? By the way, your reports are awesome, so congrats to your staff for all the details that they put in that report. City Attorney, do you have anything for us? I see you have management
Yes.
plan.
Yes, in addition to the service, I'm also a board member of the General Management Employee Pension Board. Through my interaction with this body has directed staff to basically make all general employees whole with respect to the pension reforms that took place in 2013. They also directed the staff to make the police officer whole with respect to the same pension reforms. So there's one employee that was subject to these pension, I call it reduction benefits provision in 2013 in the General Management Employee Group, and he's the only one who's still employed with the city. That's former Chief of Staff Greg Williams, and I need direction from the City Commission to make him whole, as we have done with other employees, to direct pension attorneys to provide a similar ordinance that would make him whole, just like we have done with all the employees that were subject to the pension reduction in 2013.
I'd like to move to make that happen.
Okay.
Second.
So we all right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, not this time?
Well, I mean, I do have the gavel. I'm going to enjoy the next hour of this. Anyways, just a joke. Commissioner Joseph, did you have a motion?
Yes, based on the recommendation of the city attorney, I make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you. And Commissioner Jean, you seconded, right? And then we need a, right, Commissioner Jean?
Yes, sir.
And then we need a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're good to go. On that, Mayor's not here, so there's no mayor discussion. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Jean.
Yes, thank you so much. I wanted to put this on the record so we can get some public announcements for freebie in Spanish and Creole. So I know, Mr. Manager, that was one of my requests to you, especially for more elderly residents who are not as tech savvy as how to go into their app store and get that. Also wanted to make a comment to Commissioner Smuggler's point about an event that happened. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Parks and Recreation for putting out all the multiple flags of Hispanic and Latino descent, heritage in the plaza. I want to also send a thank you to Public Affairs Division for making sure that all the commissioners get invites to every event, so that everyone can use their time and discretion to show up and support each other. And again, thank you to the staff for the budget, and wishing everyone a great night.
Commissioner Smuggler.
Thank you. I'm going to actually use my time to ask a question of the city attorney, if I may. So, I think it was the last fiscal year, this fiscal year, Commissioner Joseph and myself co-sponsored the We Care program. And was that for 1 year or was that indefinite?
I think that was for the 1 year fiscal budget, the amount that was included.
So is it in this year?
Mr. Manager, I think at the budget workshop, did we talk about what was included in the We Care program, which helped residents with utility bills, especially water bills, the We Care program?
Yeah, we talked about the ARP money that was set aside for it. We did discuss it. What's the question?
She just wanted to know what is the exact amount for this fiscal year.
No, that's the question is really, I just want to make sure because it was for that one fiscal year, do we have to redo our resolution or ordinance, whatever it was, do we have to redo it to create another We Care for this year?
I think it's already in the budget.
Yeah, it's already there. We have approximately, in the ARP funds, we have approximately 2 years after the end of the program to complete it.
So, but what I'm trying to say that the We Care that we voted on was for that 1 year. Do we have to vote on another We Care?
No, the money remains there in the care program.
Until
it's exhausted.
So it wasn't, but didn't you say before that it was for
No, what, I'm just based on my recollection. So if the money, let's say if the money wasn't used fully, so it's still, you know, but I know at the last, either the workshop or the last budget hearing, that there was discussed about money being placed in.
I just wanna make sure that it still happens, that it's still available, and that someone can't come back and say, well, you didn't vote on it, or it's not binding anymore, because it was for that.
Mr. Manager, just give an update what's in there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Goulart.
Thank you. I just would like to invite the residents. Tomorrow we are having this National Health Fair, which with the City of North Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce and the City of North Miami Beach. And it's gonna be a great event, so don't miss it. It's between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. tomorrow. So, you know, you are invited. You are here for great fun, and check your blood pressure, cholesterol, you know, diabetes and everything. So come tomorrow and to stay healthy, and our seniors will be present. And Mr. Manager, I just wanted to say thank you for looking at this garbage problem that we are having, you know, in the city. I don't know if it's, I won't say it's political, but you know, I've seen a lot of garbage now, more than ever in our city. And I know the outsourcing of sanitation is something that we own. We didn't know anything about it when we came here. We found, you know, the previous administration that used to outsource everything, the water, you know, the sanitation and everything else. But you know, right now we have to deal with what we have, and I'm happy that you're trying to do something about keeping our city clean, and because it is very important to do that. So thank you, Mr. Manager. And that's it. Thank you for everybody. And I want to say to Mrs. Kaplan, you know, I'm sorry for what happened. You know, on behalf of all the elected officials, you are a respectful person. You know, a resident that we respect, that we appreciate. So I'm sorry for that, what happened to you tonight. Thank you so much. Good night.
Commissioner Joseph.
Have the best evening and stay safe out there, and happy holidays.
Thank you so much. And for me, I just say thank you so much for everyone who attended tonight. Once again, happy holidays to our Jewish community, and get registered to vote, everyone. You only have a few more days to register, so please register to vote. This is a very critical election, not only in our city, but also statewide. So with that, I need a motion to adjourn. All right, motion and move. Everyone's good with that?
Yes.
Thank you. Next meeting, October 18th. Tuesday, October 18th. God bless. Have a good night.